Hello, everyone, and welcome to Digital Journeys. Today, we are going to dive into the world of Tableau and talk about its solution around AI, as well as the benefits of migrating Tableau to the cloud. Joining me are Shannon Merritt and Michael Barber. Shannon is a senior manager in our digital advisory practice, and Michael is a manager in our digital advisory practice as well. Shannon, Michael, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me today.
Happy to be here.
All right, so let's go and get started. Michael, I'm going to start with you first. So Tableau has been making a lot of headlines these days, especially around Tableau Pulse and how it's reimagining the data experience. Can you give me a brief snapshot of exactly what Tableau Pulse is?
Sure thing. So Tableau Pulse is a reimagined data experience that is making data easier to understand and more accessible to a larger group of users than previously we had with Tableau in general. It's available specifically for Tableau Cloud users, and it's leveraging Tableau AI to deliver data in ways that are more personalized and contextualized. It can also be enriched. It's a single source of truth for your metrics, and it's also meant to automatically detect patterns and changes in these metrics without having to do a lot of the deep dive that you might typically see when you're working with general dashboards. So it's really meant to take out a lot of that manual discovery effort and really just surface up those insights immediately.
So it sounds like it has a lot of promising capabilities. Shannon, do you have anything to add to what Michael just said?
Absolutely, and thanks, Jerry. I just wanted to clarify some confusion between Tableau Pulse and Tableau AI. So Tableau Pulse is really a component of Tableau AI, and they both work seamlessly together. Tableau AI is a fully integrated next-gen portfolio of AI plus analytics capabilities that really enables everyone in an organization to drive tangible business outcomes. It's considered trusted AI across the entire Tableau platform, really simplifying and democratizing data analysis and insight consumption at scale. So to think about it in purest terms, Tableau AI is the engine that drives automated analytics and personalized metrics using Tableau Pulse.
Okay, thank you. So, Michael, you mentioned earlier that Tableau Pulse is only available for cloud users. Does this mean you have to use Tableau Cloud to use Tableau Pulse?
Yes, absolutely. Tableau Cloud is the only way that you can access and utilize Tableau Pulse. This really makes a lot of sense when you look at the way that Tableau has been shifting their focus to moving more people to software as a service cloud solutions. And this is essentially their quick and easy way of saying, we think you should go to Tableau Cloud, and this is going to be the future of analytics. So the first thing you have to start looking at is migrating from Tableau Server on-prem to Tableau Cloud. And there's a multitude of benefits behind it. And Tableau Pulse is now just another tool in the tool belt of Salesforce/Tableau as far as making that migration choice. So in terms of what benefits we're really looking at going to Tableau Cloud, well, the first thing you've got is the speed. So Tableau Cloud, fast, flexible, empowering organizations to make faster decisions because you're not having to leverage a lot of the back-end oversight. And that's one of the other big benefits here is that Tableau Cloud is the exact same functionality you're getting with your Tableau server, but Tableau is the one that's taking on the brunt of hosting that machinery. You're not having to pay for the overhead of physical hardware, whether that's hosted in AWS or literally rack and servers. You're also not having to pay for the people to administer those servers. You don't have to, spend the hours of doing upgrades for Windows or Linux machines. You don't have to do the oversight of upgrading your Tableau server to keep it on the latest and greatest version. That's one of the big benefits of cloud is not only are they doing all these updates and managing it for you, all those updates are being rolled out to Tableau Cloud first. Now, there are certain things that are going to come to Tableau Server still. You're not going to lose that full functionality, but a lot of the bleeding edge, cutting edge items, including Tableau Pulse, you're really only going to see with Tableau Cloud. So lastly, one of the really big pieces as well that is now starting to shift this focus of why Tableau Cloud makes sense is the pricing. Previously, Tableau Server pricing was slightly lower than what it was for cloud. And now with the fact that the pricing is exactly the same across both Tableau Server on-prem and Tableau Cloud, there's less reasons for people to say Tableau Server is a bigger benefit, and there's more reasons to say Tableau Cloud has a leg up.
Okay, great. Yeah, it sounds like there are definitely a lot of benefits there. to move into the cloud. Shannon, do you have anything to add?
Sure, a couple of talking points here. Michael covered the vast majority of the benefits here, but I do want to also point out that Tableau Cloud can scale, right? And that's one of the benefits of being in a cloud environment. It can scale to accommodate increased workloads. So whereas in the past, when you're in an on-prem environment or even a cloud but managed environment managed by the customer, the person that's using Tableau, you would have to manually scale up based on need. If you've got an influx of activity and you need to add more servers to augment the technology stack that's powering Tableau, that's not a concern with Tableau Cloud because the infrastructure is already built to scale as needed, and really deliver higher performance without the necessity of having an IT support team on hand. It also has integration options where it can integrate with existing cloud-based platforms and tools such as Salesforce and many others. Another benefit, right, and we talked about this, is that Tableau Cloud doesn't require an investment in any infrastructure or configuration time at all. You're not doing upgrades. You're not having an IT team manage servers and firewalls and operating system patches and things along those lines. Finally, Tableau is rolling out a multitude of new features like Tableau Pulse. And the benefit here is that users that are not in the cloud are not going to be able to take advantage of these new tools, which is probably the main reason that users who are not using Tableau Cloud should give it serious consideration.
Okay, great. So I would think one of the main reasons that organizations choose on-premise versus cloud is they're worried about security features or security breaches, should I say. Is Tableau Cloud safe? And Michael, that's to you.
Absolutely. Tableau Cloud is trusted, secure, and they have federated governance and visibility and control into how they're storing that data. And Tableau is fully compliant in terms of SOC 2 compliancy and ISO compliancy, and they are working with independent CPA firms to perform audits of their platform itself. And just think about it, if there wasn't a large amount of investment on their side going into the security of their platform, they likely would not be as big as they are right now, because with everybody wanting to move to the cloud, that's the first concern people had is it actually secure? It's not on my system. I'm not managing. How do I know that there's actually security being put in place? And Tableau has made that a very, very large focus. And even beyond that, when we're talking about general updates needing to be made for, let's say, the Log4j vulnerability that came out a year or so ago, Tableau Cloud was immediately rolling out updates and fixes of that first to the Tableau Cloud platform, and then secondary, it came out to Tableau Server a few weeks later. So if anything, there was more of a lapse of security vulnerabilities on the on-prem system than it was with Tableau Cloud.
Okay, so thanks for the reassurance pertaining to security around Tableau Cloud. So let's say an organization wants to get started on their journey to moving from on-premise to cloud, or it's their first time using Tableau and they just want to get started. What steps should they take?
So we would love for an organization that has this need to reach out and contact us. We've got a team of experts on hand that has years of experience in migrating organizations from an on-prem Tableau server environment to Tableau Cloud. Or in the scenario where it's a first-time use of Tableau, then we can help get that organization started on their data journey with the Tableau platform. I'd also like to add that an organization might have a valid reason to have Tableau on premise. We're not trying to talk people out of that option because there are justifiable reasons or use cases where a cloud-hosted environment is simply not an option. We've helped many organizations who choose to go this route, and we'll continue to do so and support them ongoing into the future. And Jerry, one last item that I'd like to end with. Cherry Bekaert is planning to roll out its own Tableau Pulse offering in the near future, so please do keep an eye out for that as well.
Thanks for that, Shannon. Michael, I understand we have like an assessment plan that you have put together. Could you walk our listeners through that?
Absolutely. So one of the offerings that we're looking at is a Tableau Cloud migration assessment, where we help the organization prepare for a migration from Tableau Server to Tableau Cloud by developing a migration strategy with a focus on archiving and consolidating content, in addition to thorough testing of functionality when on Tableau Cloud. The assessment phase delivers a Tableau Cloud migration roadmap that will cover the stages of testing and deployment and includes general timelines as well as responsibilities for the migration phase. And the assessment itself is broken up into 3 stages of assess, ideate, and recommend. So as far as the assessment goes, that's where we are, as it sounds, assessing the environment and labeling content for either migration to the Tableau cloud or archival. And that really just looks at your overall BI architecture. So it's not just related to what does your Tableau server look like, but what type of data are you ingesting? What type of systems are you connecting to? How are you consuming this data that you have that's going into your analytics? And how is that all wrapped into your Tableau server architecture? Once we've done that, we've kind of isolated folders and projects and content that's ready to move or that we're going to leave behind as part of the migration, we go into the ideate phase. With the ideate phase, we actually start to do a bit of what you might consider like a POC and start setting up the Tableau cloud environment and testing the general functionality. So if you need to leverage Tableau Bridge for on-premise data connections, we're going to get that in place to make sure the connectivity works. We're going to do whitelisting of IP addresses for Tableau Cloud, test the connections, test the refreshes of data sources, evaluate your authentication methods, make sure that you're not losing anything when you go to Tableau Cloud, because that's the key thing that we care about right now is that part of the migration is we should be gaining functionality. We should be gaining features and optimizing and streamlining, not losing anything in the migration. And that's part of what the ideate phase is meant to isolate, is to figure out, do we maintain everything that we had, and do we also get additional benefits from this migration? And then in the final phase, the recommendation, our outcomes there is essentially a strategy and a plan for this overall migration. So what you would expect to have in your hand at the end of this assessment phase is basically a checklist of here's all the things that are going to happen as part of the migration. Here are the items that are going to be tested. And these are the parties that will be responsible for that, whether it is something that is solely leveraged by the Cherry Bekaert team, or if we have a little bit of back and forth with the client where some of the client's team members do some of the testing and Cherry Bekaert does some of the other testing.
Okay, thanks, Michael. It certainly sounds like we have a great blueprint for success for clients who want to go down this journey. With that being said, thank you, Shannon and Michael, for providing your insights today on Tableau.
Good time, Jerry. Appreciate the opportunity.
Likewise.
This concludes today's Digital Journeys. I'd like to thank our listeners for tuning in today. And as always, feel free to like and share this podcast.